American Horror Story's Jessica Lange hints at retirement. American Horror Story star Jessica Lange has revealed that she's considering retiring from acting as she believes creativity is secondary in modern-day Hollywood. Lange has been in the industry for over 40 years, winning 2 Academy Awards, 3 Emmy Awards, and a Tony Award for her work. However, in a recent interview with The Telegraph, the actress hinted that her time as an actress may end soon. "I think I'm going to start phasing out of filmmaking," she said, adding, "I don't think I'll do this too much longer." Explaining her position, Lange told the outlet, "Creativity is secondary now to corporate profits. The emphasis becomes not on the art or the artist or the storytelling. It becomes about satisfying your stockholders." Lange also highlighted the frantic editing of modern films, saying, "I don't know if it's because the filmmakers think that they can't hold the attention of the audience anymore. That kind of filmmaking drives me crazy." Beginning her career with 1976's King Kong, Lange is known for her roles in Tootsie, 1982, and Blue Sky, 1994, which won her Oscars for Best Supporting Actress and Best Actress, respectively. She has also appeared in stage productions for A Streetcar Named Desire and Long Day's Journey into Night, which won her a Tony Award for her performance in 2016. Additionally, Lange has enjoyed a hugely successful TV career, known more recently for her work in the FX anthology series American Horror Story, last appearing in 2018's Apocalypse installment. She'll next be seen in upcoming films Long Day's Journey into Night and Places, Please. American Horror Story airs on FX in the US and Disney Plus in the UK, where seasons 1 to 9 are also available to buy on Prime Video. You might also, like Nicole Scherzinger fans say, it's illegal to be this hot as she dances in racy cutout swimsuit. Nicole Scherzinger has been making the most of the sun as she enjoys a summery getaway before making her Broadway debut in September. The former Pussycat Dolls singer, 45, and her fiancé Tom Evans donned their swimwear as they took part in some backyard dancing. Nicole sported a black one-piece, which featured numerous cutouts and low neckline, while Tom opted to go shirtless with some swimming trunks. While dancing, they were joined by Tom's brother Max and his girlfriend, Deborah Casimiro. Sharing a video of the four of them dancing on Instagram, Nicole penned the caption, "From our fam to yours, hope you all have a fun weekend." Fans were quick to compliment the singer and actress, with one fan commenting, "It's illegal to be this hot, okay?" While another penned, "Oh, but Nicole's body, wow." And a third added, "So much happiness in one video. We all look fantastic." It comes as Nicole prepares to reprise the role of Sunset Boulevard's Norma Desmond, for which she won the 2024 Olivier Award for Best Actress in a Musical. Now, she's set to switch the West End for Broadway's James's Theatre, where the show will open at the end of September. The musical is based on the 1950 film of the same name, and the role of Norma has previously been played by the likes of Petula Clark and Glenn Close. The West End production opened at the Savoy last year with a limited run from 21 September until 6 January. Accepting her Olivier Award earlier this year, Nicole said, "I always really wanted to be a singer and do musicals, and I dreamed of so many roles that I wanted to do. And honestly, this role, Norma Desmond, was not one of those roles. But God works in mysterious ways because it's honestly one of the ballsiest and bravest things I've ever done, and I've had an incomparable director, Jamie Lloyd, to thank for that." Nicole shot to fame in the 2000s as part of the pop group The Pussycat Dolls. The group was originally formed as a burlesque troupe consisting of Kermit Bacher, Ashley Roberts, Jessica Sutta, and Kimberly Wyatt, before Nicole, Melody Thornton, and Kaya Joan were added to the lineup. Last year, it was reported that Nicole would not be inviting any of her former bandmates to her wedding because of bad blood between them. Things allegedly turned sour for the group when it was reported that other members weren't happy about Nicole being the lead singer. Woman with longest nails hasn't cut them since 1997. And everyone asks same thing. Deanna Armstrong from Minnesota, U.S., has become a record breaker with her extraordinary fingernails, which haven't seen a clipper since 1997. Her nails, if laid end to end, would stretch over an impressive 13 meters, earning her the Guinness World Record for the longest women's fingernails on record in 2022. Armstrong's nails have grown so long they touch the ground, and she enjoys decorating them with various colors. The official Instagram account of Guinness World Records highlighted her achievement, stating, "The combined length of Diana's fingernails is longer than a standard yellow school bus." Diana has been growing her fingernails for over 25 years. Curiosity has peaked on social media, with many users fixated on the practicalities of her daily life. One person questioned, "How does she wipe?" Genuine curiosity. Another pondered, "The wiping was my first thought, but has she ever worked? Like, there's no way you could legit do anything herself." A third added their voice to the conversation. "How does she get anything done at all, like anything, including fitting into a car? Or clothes?" However, Armstrong addressed these curiosities after breaking the record, explaining in an interview, "Well, when I go to the bathroom, it'll be the same as anyone else going to the bathroom. Just I work with my nails probably in a different way they'd work with theirs. I use a lot of toilet paper. I don't wrap it around my hand like some people do. I can't do it like that because it ain't going to work that way." The questions for Armstrong didn't stop there, as one person asked her, "How many bottles of nail polish does it take?" While another chimed in, "Why was I thinking those were dreadlocks?" Others asked why Armstrong had decided to grow her nails so long, and there's a heartbreaking tale behind the decision. On the day she vowed never to trim the talons again, she had asked her children to wake up while she went to the supermarket. But while she was out, her youngest daughter called her and revealed her 16-year-old, Latisha, wouldn't wake up. It was then she discovered her child had sadly passed away in her sleep from an asthma attack. Armstrong previously said, "That was the worst day of my life." She had always had long nails which would be lovingly manicured by Latisha each weekend. "She was the only one who did my nails. She polished them and filed them for me," she said. Armstrong, who suffered from depression for the decade after her daughter's death, said keeping her nails long was her way of honoring her daughter and keeping her memory alive. Springwatch's Chris Packham makes shock admission about friendship with Michaela Strachan. Packham and Michaela Strachan have been working together for decades after teaming up on The Really Wild Show from 1993 to 1995. Bringing their winning dynamic to episodes of Spring Watch, Autumn Watch, and Winter Watch in the years that have followed. Chris and Michaela have spent a lot of time together on set, but away from the cameras, they rarely hang out. Speaking to Radio Times in January, Chris explained that he's not terribly social and very rarely mingles with anyone. Clarifying that he shares a comfortable relationship with Michaela, the TV presenter and conservationist noted, "We don't need to speak all the time, just when it's necessary. I'm not terribly social. She's a very social person, so if she's over from South Africa, she'll invite herself to the house," Chris told the publication. "Apart from that, we don't hang out, but then I don't hang out with anyone." Chris, 63, is based in the New Forest, Hampshire with his miniature poodles, Sid and Nancy. Part-time, he also resides with his partner of 14 years, Charlotte Corney. Michaela, on the other hand, lives in the coastal town of Hout Bay in Cape Town with her partner, cameraman and producer Nick Chevalier. While Chris and Michaela rarely interact away from filming, the two have endless respect and admiration for each other. Joining Radio Times for another interview in 2018, the duo reflected on the evolution of their working relationship in recent years. "She will say that I've mellowed, but it's not true," said Chris. "I just know she doesn't like my angry side. She has consolidated all her strengths to become a remarkable woman who I hold in great regard." As for Michaela, the 58-year-old revealed that while they used to go partying together, they've mellowed over the years. Well, his hair has changed, she began. He has a much better wardrobe, too. We've both mellowed. When we were younger, there were a few party nights. Although I still like a glass of Chardonnay after filming, I haven't seen Chris have anything other than a hot chocolate in recent years. Asked to name each other's best traits, Chris raved about Michaela's unwavering optimism and joie de vivre, while the mum of one cited Chris' humor. Definitely his sense of humor. It's usually intelligent humor, she explained. The other amazing thing about Chris is his knowledge, not just about wildlife, but all sorts of other random things like collector's chairs. Man threw 10-year-old boy off 100 feet cliff after he tried to stop him raping his sister. A terrified 10-year-old boy was thrown over a 100 feet cliff and incredibly survived the fall after trying to stop a man who was raping his sister, a jury heard. Anthony Stocks, 54, is accused of taking the boy to a cliff top in Brighton, East Sussex, and throwing him over the edge after the child had tried to stop him from raping his underage sister. He denies all charges. Oxford Crown Court heard the incident unfolded in front of the eyes of a witness who was walking at the bottom of the towering white chalk cliffs when he heard a shriek and saw a small shape fall as if thrown from the cliff. Stocks, described in court as manipulative and selfish by prosecution, stood before the jury accused of rape of a girl aged under 13 years and of attempted murder of the 10-year-old boy, charges he denies. Prosecutor Zoe Johnson, opening the case, told the jury, the defendant forced a girl under 13 to have sexual contact with him, knowing it was wrong. The boy had started to try to intervene. Unbeknown to the boy's mother, the defendant then took him to Brighton and in particular to the cliffs. That afternoon, the boy fell 100 feet from the cliff edge onto the concrete underwalk below. Miraculously, he did not die, but was very seriously injured and had to be airlifted to hospital in London. Initially, it was believed that what had happened to him was a dreadful accident, but investigations revealed a different and much darker picture. The prosecutor told the jury that Stocks deliberately pushed the boy, who cannot be named for legal reasons, off the edge of the cliff with the intention of killing him. The defendant attempted to murder him by pushing him off the cliff, she explained to the jury. The defendant may have instantly regretted what he had done, but at the moment he pushed the victim, it was the climax of a plan to get the boy out of the way so he could no longer interfere. She added that the attempted murder was planned as Stocks had previously taken the boy to a quarry in Oxfordshire and contemplated pushing the boy off the cliff before changing his mind. The twice-married defendant from Goring-on-Thames, Oxfordshire, took the boy on a train from London and arrived in Brighton on the afternoon of the alleged offense, which took place in the early 2020s. An eyewitness was walking with a friend towards the cliff stairwell when he saw the boy and the defendant walking on the grass verge and heading towards the top of the cliffs. The boy had his hands out as if he was balancing. He seemed to be having fun, said the prosecutor. The defendant was walking behind him and was matching his pace. The jury heard that Mr. Boulding and his friend made their way back to the undercliff and noticed a crowd of people. When they got closer, they realized they were surrounding the child who was clearly in a bad state, but still alive. The prosecutor added that Stocks did not run away from the scene but had instead joined the various members of the public that came to the child's aid. The jury heard. The defendant spoke to a number of people at the scene, civilians and members of the emergency services. Jurors heard he was not consistent in his account of what had happened and rolled a cigarette and looked at his phone. The court heard the child's injuries were very serious, including several deep lacerations to his scalp, abrasions to his chest, multiple bruises, multiple fractures to his left arm, and deformity to his left shoulder. He was sedated, his arm placed into a splint, and he was airlifted by helicopter to St. George's Hospital in Tooting, London, where he had to be resuscitated before he was placed in a medical coma. Because of the extremely high-impact trauma the boy suffered, he does not have any memory of the fall itself, the jury heard. The defendant, who is originally from Peterborough, Cambridgeshire, was first arrested shortly after the fall on suspicion of child neglect and causing or allowing the serious injury of a child. He told the police that he had asked the boy if he wanted to go to the seaside before taking him to the top of the cliffs near the Brighton Marina. The defendant said he sat on a bench and smoked a cigarette while the boy stood by the edge of the cliffs. The prosecutor continued, "Mr. Stocks had his head down and suddenly, the boy was gone. The defendant thought he was hiding. He ran and found him at the bottom of the cliff." Stocks was arrested again on May 12 last year on suspicion of sexual activity with a child under 13 and rape of a child under 13. At the beginning of the police interview, his solicitor read out a prepared statement on behalf of the defendant in which he stated, "I'm not sexually attracted to children and have not tried to have or instigated sexual activity with children." Thereafter, he refused to answer the officer's questions. Stocks was rearrested on November 23, 2023 on suspicion of attempted murder. The trial is due to resume.